Hi, this isn't going to be your normal type of video for me. Now don't worry, later today I'll get back to my regularly scheduled type of videos, but I need to get this off my chest. We know the days in YouTube we're all about views, all about clicks. In fact, in the days of social media, it's all about getting clicks and views, getting your stuff to as many people as you can. Especially when it comes to providing news to any type of topic, it's very important to get your stuff, your name out there to as many people as you can, as quickly as you can. However, you've always been known with the term fake news, clickbait titles, overall ways to kind of quote unquote scam your audience into getting into your videos. And unfortunately, that bug has infected NASCAR, and infected NASCAR in a big way. So of course, you know the most common YouTube channels like Eric Eastep, Real Radman, The Iceberg, Black Flags Matter, and we can even throw in David Land in the mix. Even though he primarily talks about IndyCar, he's still well known in the NASCAR community. And the 3 or 4 people that will say me, thank you. Those channels are known as the type of channels that if you're in the NASCAR community, those are the channels that everybody knows. Unfortunately, we're starting to see a new trend of channels that are popping up that just expose the absolute worst in clickbait and straight up lying in videos. Now, one side, I don't want to give these types of channels any type of clout, or at the very least, any type of attention to the audience. But this is getting ridiculous. These channels are straight up lying in their videos and giving a false interpretation to their audience for views. I'm sure you've seen these types of thumbnails, these very attractive, colorful thumbnails pop up in your recommended or in your up next page on YouTube. Like I said, very flashy colors, very clickbait, almost lying titles, as well as quotes in their thumbnails that no one has ever said. This really started just a few months ago, and it all began with this YouTube channel titled NASCAR Zone. By the way, this is the thumbnail of their first video. I don't even understand this. It makes absolutely no sense. Why is Steve Burns, rest in peace, why is he in the thumbnail? Anyways, their videos were, again, very clickbait, made no sense, and it was overall just trash content. What's absolutely ridiculous about this type of content is, number one, they have some robot voiceover that they got from voiceover.com or something talking about the video. But if you actually listen to what this guy is saying, he's saying nothing. What they do is that they take clips of articles. They straight up take up articles from Wikipedia or other news sources and plaster it onto the video. The funny part is that it makes no sense. I want y'all to take a listen to this video. Kurt Busch tells the real truth behind his failure. Incredible news.
Kurt is not going to take part in the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series. Yes, you people are hearing me right. Why? What happened to him? Let's take a gander at the NASCAR Cup Series for the year 2022 and discover what it comprises in this brief glance at it. The 74th season of professional stock car racing in the United States under the aegis of NASCAR will be the 51st season of the modern era Cup Series, which will be renamed the NASCAR Cup Series in 2022. This season will also mark the beginning of the NASCAR Cup Series, the inaugural game of the new baseball season, known as the BUSCH Light Clash at the Coliseum. The playoffs for NASCAR will start with the Cookout Southern 500 on September 4 at Darlington Raceway, and will end with the NASCAR Cup Series Championship race on November 6 at Phoenix Raceway. Both races will take place in South Carolina. South Carolina will serve as the scene for both of the next events. USA Network will take over for the now-defunct NBCSN as the broadcaster of the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Mars Incorporated will no longer be a NASCAR sponsor at the conclusion of this season, since the company announced on December 20, 2021 that it would withdraw its support for the racing series after the 2022 season.
So this was 9 minutes of my life I will never get back. 4 minutes into the video, and still know nothing about Kurt Busch. In fact, he does a horrible copy and paste of the introduction of the 2022 NASCAR Cup Series Wikipedia page. We're talking about Kurt Busch. Why are you bringing up the USA Network? Why are you bringing up Mars Incorporated? Why are you saying that Robert Yates drove the 38 car when he was the car owner? Or saying that Phoenix is in South Carolina? He then finally talks about Kurt Busch and what's been happening, but again, really tells zero truth as to the reason of his failure, just says, hey, he got a concussion at Pocono. Or in his words,
during qualifying at Pocono Raceway.
But to then make the video longer to put more ads in, this person then decides to go on another copy-paste Wikipedia chat about Kurt Busch's life.
Kurt Thomas Busch competes in NASCAR. He came into the world on August 4, 1978. Now that he has his license, He competes full-time in the NASCAR Cup Series with 2311 racing in the number 45 Toyota Camry TRD. He is the older brother of Kyle Busch, who has won the Cup Series 2 different times. Kyle Busch has also won the Daytona 500. During the course of his Cup career, which began in the year 2000, Busch has raced for Chip Ganassi Racing, Stewart Haas Racing, Furniture Row Racing, Phoenix Racing, Penske Racing, and Roush Racing. In addition, he has also driven for Roush Racing.
So based on the video and the description it's giving out, the video should tell you why Kurt Busch is failing, even though he's not failing. It was a crash at Pocono that took him out. It was a concussion. He had nothing to do with what he did to himself. But it starts out talking about Kurt. Then for some reason, during the middle of the video, it starts talking about a Wikipedia intro about the 2022 NASCAR season. And then it ends off by a Wikipedia page talking about Kurt Busch's life. And that was really the first video that popped off. Ever since then, NASCAR Zone has been home to just straight up lying in their videos. Kyle Busch tells the truth after Darlington engine failure. This is disgusting. Kyle Busch tells the truth after Bristol engine breakdown. This is not fair. Denny Hamlin furious after Joe Gibbs' behavior. Big mistake. But again and again, when you watch the video, it doesn't explain anything about what the thumbnail or title talks about. Now, I wouldn't discuss this if this got 200, 300 views, but you look at the view count: 200,000, 70,000, 145,000, 99,000, 81,000, 273,000. And by the way, that video is, I think, the worst out of anything this guy has posted. Bubba Wallace done with NASCAR after suspension. I'm done with it. He never said that. Trouble for Bubba Wallace and Denny Hamlin is furious. He must go. That never happened. This is just lying. Joe Gibbs reportedly done with Ty Gibbs. That never happened. And what just happened to Alex Bowman is insane. It's done now. What do you mean it's done now? He's coming back. He's not done. You have to understand, the reason why I feel like I need to talk about this is that it's giving a very false impression for NASCAR fans that want to learn about news or actually learn things about NASCAR. I mean, whoever owns this channel is pulling views similar to David Land, a guy with nearly 100,000 subscribers, or a guy like Eric Easep, a guy with nearly 200,000 subscribers. I'm not even putting myself in the conversation. I'm only a guy with 10K. Thank you to all of you. But how in the world are people falling for this type of stuff? It's clearly fake. It's obvious that it's not real news. This guy is just trying to scam all of you to giving you more money to him. Because of course, when this guy has ads on his videos, and when you see titles like, "It's done now," "I'm retiring," "This I demand," quotes that were never said by anybody, these poor fans are just expecting a quality video and end up getting absolute trash. And the worst part about this is that when someone does something that works well, it spreads like a virus. Because since this, numerous channels have done the exact same thing. And I'm going on a limb here and say that more than likely, all these other channels are controlled by the same person. I don't have any facts to prove this, I just have a feeling. NASCAR Culture, 7 videos, and they're all just, again, the exact same thing that NASCAR Zone does. NASCAR Offtrack, same thing. Bubba Wallace has no shame. Kyle Petty furious. Don't come back. 400,000. 400,000 views. Are you kidding? I mean, at this rate, do I even bother? Do I even bother trying? I mean, I can just do this and just make my money and be on my way. I'm not going to, but how? Bad news for Richard Childress Racing after signing Kyle Busch. What have I done? What are you talking about? Vicious move by Denny Hamlin. I'm done waiting. What Alex Bowman just announced is insane. One last race. Again, you'd think he's announcing his retirement, but no, he's coming back for the final race at Phoenix and is gonna race next year. He's not retiring. Now, unfortunately, with these types of content, there are no limits, and we saw that this weekend. Unfortunately, as many of you know, what happened with Coy Gibbs on Sunday, unfortunately passed away. Now, I don't think it's an issue to talk about it in the sense of honoring or paying your respects. I had a feeling, more or less, I knew this was going to happen with these types of channels that would clickbait and try to make money off of what happened. The latest video from him, shocking news for Ty Gibbs. His victory has been stolen. It's not fair. And the thumbnail shows a ghostly-esque figure of Coy Gibbs behind Ty Gibbs. Absolutely disgusting. It's one thing to just clickbait videos, titles, rumors like you're essentially sports. It's another thing to try and clickbait and lie about someone's death. And 56,000 people have liked on it, and it's earning 1,400 videos per hour. So it is trending up. There's another channel called NASCAR Today that just popped up. that did the exact same thing. NASCAR's Christopher Bell breaks into tears after the sudden passing of Coy Gibbs, and just the thumbnail is just absolutely disgusting, and already more than 6,000 people have clicked on it. I know it's not as much as the other video, but still, the fact that there are people clicking on these types of videos and trying to make money off of it is just, again, purely disgusting. And shame on you for anyone that is subscribing to these types of channels, because all they're doing is feeding you a bunch of BS. They offer zero, absolute zero facts. They are literally straight up taking word for word articles from people way in the past and just adding into the script in this video to try and make it longer so they can stuff more ads in it. There's another video that NASCAR Zone posted that talks about Kevin Harvick's penalty at Talladega. For some reason, however, he references statements made from articles back in 2018 when he won at Texas. He basically takes out word for word articles from numerous pages on Harvick's 2018 penalty in an effort to make the video longer.
Harvick's victory does not contribute toward automatic progression into the championship race that will be held at Homestead. In addition, Harvick has been deducted 40 driver points, and the team has lost 40 owner points as a result of this. Harvick is currently only 3 points above the cut line to advance into the championship race as a result of the elimination of all win bonuses and the reduction in championship points. Because of this, the door has just been opened for Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, and Eric Almirola to make up ground on the championship point standings. Crew Chief Rodney Childers has been given a fine of $75,000 and will not be allowed to participate in the upcoming races in Phoenix and Homestead. Car Chief Robert Smith has also been given a suspension for the upcoming pair of Cup Series competitions. Vice President of Competition for Stewart-Haas, the company has accepted the penalty and has decided not to fight.
Now, I'm not gonna start thinking and brainstorming whether or not all these channels are linked to the same person. I will say it is a bit weird when you look at the thumbnails from across all these channels. They all have a very similar theme. Red background, very bright popping colors, the NASCAR logo, and fake quotes. And they're all robotic voiceovers. They're all voiceovers that you can look up online, and then a robot just generates a script or a voice for you, and boom, there you go. I'm just saying, it's very suspicious, and I think more than likely all these channels fall under the same umbrella. Somebody, at least one person, is I think controlling all of these channels. In conclusion, the reason why I wanted to make this video and want to expose these people, yes, I am giving them attention, but at the same time, they need to be called out. Whoever's in charge of these videos needs to be called out. Mass report them, do something, because these types of content is not okay. I think it's okay to skew the envelope a little bit. If you want to skew it, have a little bit of clickbait, that's fine. But when you straight up lie about things that make absolutely no sense, when you say one thing and then your video is something completely different that has nothing to do with what you're saying, it's a problem, because the creators that actually put effort into their content, that are actually trying to tell you what's going on in the NASCAR world, they'll give you the facts and they'll give you their opinion. People like that actually work their tails off to try and bring awareness to the sport, to help the growth of the sport by bringing news and bringing their style of content to the NASCAR world, to the YouTube community. They're working their butts off, and yet you have channels like these that are straight up stealing viewers from them when they're offering literally nothing. In fact, I think they're damaging the sport, and in my opinion, they're damaging the YouTube community. These channels is literally the equivalent of essentially sports. If you know what that website is, it's basically the same thing. They either clickbait or straight up lie in their articles that have nothing to do with the story. $190+ billion valued Bubba Wallace sponsor under fire after Kyle Larson incident. Was refuge spot for Ross Chastain during 2021 Daytona 500. What? People are scared to leave their house. 2022 NASCAR champion Joey Logano turned savior after innocent people got laid off. Now it talks about Joey Logano helping out the people that have been affected by COVID-19. That's great and all. Keep in mind, that happened in 2020, yet they're posting this just yesterday. These types of content is taking over our community and people are falling for it. Channels like NASCAR Zone, which is like the king of clickbait / lying types of content, is getting really big, really fast. Based on this level, it would overtake Slapshoes' channel in about 2 years and would take over David Land's channel about another 2 or 3 years after Slapshoes. So it is growing. Now, of course, this is just the scale of growing if he remains this consistent. Obviously, when you're seeing videos like what we saw with Bubba Wallace, a video that's nearly 400, more than 400, 500,000 views. More videos like that, which I guarantee you, this upcoming season, they're going to pump out more BS content like what we've seen the last second half of this season. That trend is just gonna go higher, higher, and higher. And I just wanna bring awareness to the fact that stay away from these channels. I'm not even saying you have to go to my channel, but just stay away from these channels. Watch any channel you want, but stop watching these types of channels that are lying to you. Anyways, that's it for me. Thank y'all so much for watching. My name is Jett. See you next time.